Growing up, it was kind of hard because I was used to being by myself, so like, I don't know, like I felt like I communicated well with other people, but at the same time I like having my space. So my friends, they know how to let me be me and give me my space, and I didn't really meet my good friends that I have now until high school, around 9th, 10th grade. Learning to be around other people and getting to know them and not just myself and stuff like that, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Because when you go home, you by yourself. And if your mama or daddy busy, you have no one to play with. So
I don't believe I made friends easily. I believe that I had friends like in my life that I would call make-believe friends, yeah. And I mean, these friends, I mean, they stepped in, I guess, they took a part of my life that I feel like I was not getting in other places or spaces. As far as my mother or my father, yes, they did take that role.
No, Shatrice didn't have any imaginary friends growing up. She grew up with cousins and family close by, and she made friends easily. She did have a security blanket that she carried up until about kindergarten, middle of kindergarten or so. It used to be a big blanket, maybe a big throw, and by the time she wore that thing out, it was small enough to hold in her hand. It was the brown blankie, and I one day thought I would have to attach it to her wedding gown because I just didn't see blankie going anywhere for a very long time.
No, I don't. I mean, in my nature, I prefer not to be bossy. I mean, I like for people to cooperate with me, and I cooperate well with
I'm bossy over things that I can control. Now, if I can't control it, there's nothing that I can do about it. I might be mad about it, but I don't think I'm bossy, like, bossy. Like, I feel like I want things to go the way that I want them, and generally the way that I want things to go isn't in a bad way, if that makes sense. So yeah. I don't like the word spoiled because it sounds like I just get everything I want. I mean, I am an only child, so I mean, of course, there's not more children that my parents can, you know, spend their money on or, you know, give things to, but I do feel like my parents did create a balance in helping me to understand that everything you get is earned. I didn't just get things given to me. I had to work for stuff, like, not work, but like, if I wanted allowance, I had to do something. And I mean, I don't know, like, even with my first car, like, it wasn't just, oh, well, you can have a 2010 Mercedes, not a Mercedes, but, you know, something. It wasn't like that. Like, I drove a 1999 Toyota Corolla for like the first 3 years until, you know, a little bit older. So, I mean, I feel like I do have to work for everything that I have, so I don't think it's called spoiled.
If this question is based solely on her being given things, then yes, I probably have a spoiled only child. But I have to say that things that she was given, things that I provide for her, her way of life, those weren't things that she asked for. Those were things that I saw fit that she needed. I've always wanted her to have what she needs, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
They're only child. They can get anything they want. Parents don't have to worry about anything besides that only child and bills, and it's more complicated when more than one child is in the household, because it's 2 mouths you gotta feed, 2 children you gotta get school supplies for, shoes, clothes, you gotta keep extra food in the house. So
I think we can't succeed without parents. I mean, considering I haven't seen my father since I was about between the ages of 3 and 6. I mean, never really had that true bond, never really had that person sit there and tell me differences between right and wrong in certain situations, especially when it caused the opposite sex to be involved. I mean, yeah, I think we can all, evolve along.
No, you can succeed without your parents. It's the same as succeeding with your parents, away from your parents if you weren't the only child. It's possible.
Do I think that I can't succeed without my parents? I feel like my parents, they are wonderful people, and a lot of things that I have done in my life are because of them. But I don't know, my mom has always kind of made it where she pushes me to do for myself as well. So it's not like I don't feel like I can't succeed without them, but at the same time, I'm very close to them. So if something did happen to them where they weren't here, I would probably go through a depression, but I don't think that's what my mom would want for me to just be down and out for a long time. And I think the reason for me wanting to push, to succeed would be knowing that they would want me to do that. So I don't think I would just not succeed without them, but I kind of want them here forever. So, I mean, yeah.
Certainly only children can succeed well without their parents. Shatrice is a self-starter. She's talented and she's self-motivated, and that has absolutely nothing to do with her being an only child. It is inherent in her to get the job done well. Shatrice showed signs of maturity around 10 years old, which seems like it's the appropriate age to mature. She started doing her own laundry. She would tidy up the house. She could take care of herself and the cat. She didn't take on an I'm grown mentality as some young girls do. I never had to put her in a child's place. She was very mild-mannered, respectful, and she didn't cause me any grief. She learned how to conduct herself. She learned how to respect people, and she learned what respect was and that she was well deserving of it.
I think I did, because I mean my parents are a little bit older, and when you're around mainly grown-ups growing up, like you start to mature, not in like a sexual way or nothing like that, but as far as like the way that you think, the way that you act around older people, I think it does help you like adapt to different situations when you're talking to people, especially adults. And like you can go from talking to an adult to talking to somebody your age, and even someone older, like an elderly person. So I think in a sense you do mature a little bit faster, but I mean you still have like that child sense to you, I think. Is that good?
I wasn't the only child. I had to mature quickly just to help my mom out, so I would say yes and no. I don't know what the circumstances would be to mature quickly, so it could be yes and no for me.
As in being an only child, yeah, in some cases, I mean, I learned how to, I guess, wash clothes and iron clothes earlier than other children would, you know. Not to mention, I mean, I learned to cope with different things, you know, a lot earlier, you know, as some children may have their father and their mother figure around consistently, and as being an only child, you're not actually promised to those situations, you know.
can't say that, but I know some people think that I am, but I really don't think that I am. I think that it's important for a person to, you know, focus on themselves, but also, you know, focus on the people around them to make them, other people happy. And I feel like if you make yourself happy, then you're gonna automatically make, well, not always, but if you're happy with yourself, then you can make other people happy. So would I say that I'm self-centered? At times, yes, and then at times not. So
I don't think only children are self-centered. I think it deals with how you grow up and how you're taught to share. Because whether you got siblings or not, whether you go to preschool or you at home with your sibling, you're gonna be taught how to share. So I think it just deals with your parents and how they teach you.
Shatrice shows a lot of concern for others. She isn't self-centered by any stretch of the imagination. She gets involved with the plights of others. She shares her time willingly with family and peers. She doesn't approach a task with the feeling of what's in it for me. She goes above and beyond what is expected for her, for others. And she is selfless when it comes to pitching in.